Hey there, friends. So in the fall, we did a video on how we store some of our seeds to stratify for the winter. And here it is. What's today? The end of March. End of March.
27th?
March 27th, something like that. And they're just all waking up. So you can see those hazelnuts cracked at the bottom. Shakoi's going to show you the little. Try and show you the little sprout there. It's not focusing. There we go. So we have some hazelnuts here and some chestnuts here that are just waking up. So this is a perfect time to catch them because once these little roots start to grow, they're very fragile. So you don't want to break them. So what we're going to do is we'll put them in this air prune bed that we made. So these beds are for the mesh at the bottom prevents the roots from growing too far, but it also introduces them and it introduces the roots to oxygen, which creates a bushier root zone, prevents a taproot from digging very far, so you don't want to break that when you're transplanting them either. And it makes for easy transplanting. You can basically pull them out when they're dormant and be able to transplant them to their forever homes or maybe ship them to you guys. So right now we're just kind of separating the hazelnuts from the chestnuts and making sure that we get all accounted for. Just figured we'd show you guys a little baby trees. So we're planting out some of these, and the way you want to plant a tree seed is, Shakoi's got a good one here to show you. You want to plant them horizontally with the earth, or parallel with the earth or your bed, because what will happen is one sprout will go down and that'll be the taproot, and the other sprout will go up and that'll be the tree trunk or the shrub trunk, the main stem. So you want to plant them so they have as little struggle as possible. And this may look a little close, but trees are standing people and they need companionship just like we need companionship. So, and the roots won't interfere with each other too much, and we'll dig these up in the spring or this fall or the spring and transplant them to bigger, so they have bigger spacing for their forever homes. Plant trees, plant food, help the earth. Every single tree we plant. Well, here's a good chestnut. Every single tree we plant as a species is making up for maybe 1% of the loss that we have caused as a species. So this is just what we can do to help spread diversity, to help the planet, to help create the abundance that all of our ancestors once had. So if anybody feels like it, just plant trees. Doesn't matter if they produce food, it doesn't matter if they produce medicine. It'll help the planet regardless. Hopefully you all get the message that we're trying to send, and hopefully this video helped you a little bit. So here's everything all planted out, all the chestnuts and hazelnuts anyway. We wanted to put a screen on top so no chipmunks or squirrels can get in, because they're probably pretty hungry at this time of year, and we like to feed them, but just not the trees that we want to plant. So we'll feed them sunflower seeds and cracked corn and stuff like that. They also get into the bird feeders, which is fine. Another thing I should mention, and I'm not sure if I made too clear earlier, is there's a little space of air beneath these beds. And these will go into the ground later, but they're just kind of on our picnic table for now because we're not using it. We're not having picnics in the winter. So there's a little gap of air underneath the beds because they are air prune beds. And what air pruning or root pruning is like I mentioned before, when the roots come in contact with oxygen, they pause on growth, or they slow down and they become a little bit bushier. When a tree grows, the taproot is the main root that gets sent down. It's like a long central root, and we want to prevent that from growing long and strong until we transplant it anyway, because if we bend or break the taproot, if we break it, it can damage the tree. It'll severely stunt growth, and in a lot of cases it'll be fatal to the tree. It'll kill the tree. So these will prevent it from getting too long. It'll be bushier kind of root balls. And another thing with planting in pots is the tree root will still be long, but it'll just spiral around the bottom of the pot, which makes for a difficult transplanting. It also makes it so, you know, when the tree does get planted in a hole, the taproot doesn't want to go straight. It kind of just wants to keep spiraling, or maybe even stay in the shape that it's in. So that'll put the tree back a little bit. These seem to work really well, and when the tree gets planted in their forever home, it really takes off. As long as it's planted in the dormant season, it really takes off where it almost doesn't know a difference. It doesn't notice that it's not in these air prune beds anymore, and the taproot takes off like normal. So, and then we have another one right here that's not covered because these are fruit seeds, not nut trees seeds. So the squirrels probably don't need to tell you they like nuts. The fruit seeds aren't as bad. We planted these ones in the fall, so they sat out and stratified. We have some pawpaws, some gooseberries, and some persimmons. And in these bags, yet to be planted, are meter persimmons. And these were developed, maybe I shouldn't say developed, but selected by Professor Meter from the University of New Hampshire. And these are pretty hardy variety of persimmons. I think they're good down to maybe negative 30 degrees or something like that. Maybe even more. Don't take my word for it. I don't know off the top of my head. But they're super hardy persimmons, and they are also reportedly self-fruitful. So for persimmons, they are dioecious, which means that one tree is a female and one of them is a male. So you need pollination from a male in order for the female to set fruit. These are reportedly self-fruitful. We don't know yet. In our experience, we haven't seen any of them yet, but that's why we're growing them, to see if we can. Keep your eyes out for these on our website, maybe in the fall, maybe next spring, but they'll be here regardless. We already have some some hazelnuts for sale. I said chestnuts because I'm reading chestnuts right there. Anyway, we already have some hazelnuts for sale. Those are in the beds, and yeah, we hope you guys enjoy some of these videos. Thanks for watching.